What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemoth, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Zeke Mercer, one half of the Tag Team Champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
revenge. Yeah, I fight for you all. It's the truth and I'm in. Yeah, I fight for referee breath.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Just wait, just wait.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show 767 Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Back from watching interesting wrestling and their fans in Kentucky this weekend. You can hear about that in my thoughts on Ohio Valley Wrestling in person over on the Monday Mayhem Warriors from last night. But tonight we're going to talk with we got a good crew. We're going to talk about a lot of interesting topics. I don't want to say fun topics because some of these topics are not fun at all that we're about to get into. But first of all, he is the Mad One from Beacon, New York. He is the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavored letter from the WWE and a Slammy. He is Mad Mike.
That is me. I am here, and man, oh man, do I have opinions.
You know what? Hey, I was just thinking this because we were having a little bit of Lego discussion beforehand. No spoilers. Whoops, just hit something else. No spoilers for the Patreon later. But at what point are you going to make a Lego Slammy?
Oh boy. See, I don't know if I'm going to
Tough
do that.
questions right out of the
Um,
gate. You're not even our guest.
Although I will say, next on my list, I might be getting a Lego Infinity Gauntlet.
Wait, that's for real, huh? That's
Yeah, it's a
okay.
real thing.
All right. You heard an ooh from our guest tonight. He is part of Prospect Pro Wrestling, fellow geek, and the White Rabbit. Zach Rain joining us. How you doing, sir? Back again.
You said Zach Wayne. Was that an Elmer Fudd joke or?
Did I? I put too much emphasis.
So
on the
be
thing.
very, very careful. We're doing podcasts.
That wascally white wabbit.
Oh boy, it's gonna be.
By the
one
way,
those kind
speaking of
nights.
that, they have Lego Looney Tunes blind bags. They're
What?
fantastic.
Oh no.
They're fantastic.
Oh, don't, you know what? I got out of Awesome Cast with almost buying something again, and literally, I bought Star Wars droid stamps, and just gave them to Katie because they were her pick of the week, and she hadn't bought hers yet. And I'm just like, what am I gonna do with stamps? She's the collector here. What am I doing? Like, I can't. I need to not buy. Mike, I almost bought a smart scale on the Awesome Cast tonight. That was $30.
Oh, God, why would
Like,
you do that to yourself?
I know, right?
If I want technology to scream me how fat I am, I look at my Fitbit.
Yeah, I mean, mirrors are enough of a bane of my existence. But hey, Mike, I'm getting self-conscious. I hang around really fit wrestlers all the time. So
And Sorg, I don't, and I'm still really self-conscious.
right,
Hey.
yeah,
Every single wrestler in the world has severe body dysmorphia. We're all
Right.
self-conscious too.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, but you look better when you're self-conscious about it. Like, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah, we just stay here, eat more Cheetos, and get sad.
mhm.
So
Yeah, like I got really excited. The wife brought home a whole thing of chocolate chip cookies. I'm like, yes! And I'm like, wait. Also, yes!
yeah. There's that oh, the wife is baking. Oh, the wife is baking. Oh, the wife is. You're just you're
Yeah.
just torn. You're just like, well, this isn't gonna help my goals. So
Depends on the goal.
yeah, that's right. Depends on the
That's true.
goals. I'm like, okay, looking at your Apple Watch is like, well, that's pretty full. I guess I can do okay. All right. Anyways, listen, I'm not Duke Davis. I'm not going to get that cut. I'm just settled on that right now, okay? My God, that guy's a monster lately. But anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show where I swear not always are sad about our own physical dysmorphia.
Sometimes we're sad about wrestling.
Sometimes we're sad about wrestling, mostly on Monday nights.
Is tonight going to be one of those things?
We'll find out.
We'll see.
Wait,
Dun, dun, dun.
we haven't gotten to your part of the night yet, Zach, so you don't know what I'm about to ask. Actually, I don't even know what I'm going to ask. But but
A lot of
anyways,
preparation here at the Mayhem Show.
yes. Hey, that's what we do. It's my mayhem's in the name. But anyways, like I said, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can communicate with us. Please communicate with us. Not that we're lonely or anything, but we'll love to hear from you and get your opinions on the show.
Sorg.
What?
Speak for yourself. I've been working 50 hours a week since March.
Yeah, Mike has
Last year.
Mike is still basically on lockdown now. While I'm traveling all around the country, Mike
Yeah,
is
fuck
just.
you, by the way.
I'm so. It's my job. Your job is to sit there and do the thing you do for your company. My job is to go to Kentucky, which happens to be 10 minutes away from a wrestling show, and eat dirt all day.
Like, I don't know.
Why is
I
it-
don't know how you do it, man. I don't, because I literally took a job that doesn't pay as much, like my normal day civilian nonsense job, and because it lets me just walk around and break up fights, it's a blast. and then you and my wife
Are you a
work,
lifeguard?
60 hours a week. So this is a shoot, but I'm a security sergeant at a high-risk school district, and let me tell you, it is a blast.
Dude, and that is, you know what I
Now,
love?
I have a question. When you walk the halls, do you ever have in your brain going, if you ever take a trip down to Cobb County, Georgia?
So
'Cause
I'm fortunate. Like, the kids found out pretty fast what I do, so
Oh, no.
they all just they have my merch on and stuff. They're cool with me, so we're in good
They have
shape.
your merch on. That is
Oh,
great.
yeah.
That's wild. They have your merch. Oh, that's amazing.
You know what? And usually, like, I don't like when like guys come on here and talk about their shoot jobs because it's like that perception thing. But like, that's a good background for for wrestling.
That's like the millennial version of every wrestler from the early 2000s saying, "Oh yeah, I was a bouncer."
Yeah.
Like,
there's
Well,
that too.
Listen, here's my thing: is like this has always been a running joke with me too. That like I don't have a gimmick. Like like Zach Rain is just Zach Rain. So whatever you want to ask, it's out there. Like,
Oh God, we're never going into the intro of the show, but like your part of the show's happening now. Like, listen, so I notice. Listen, this is what I noticed. I'm watching your Tron. I was like, they're really pushing this White Rabbit thing, but I don't know what it's about, and I don't know how it applies to his character. But he's got a cool mask. Like, is this an overcompensating for the lack of actual character you have that's going on?
do you just want the honest answer?
Yeah.
Because I'll give it to you.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you've seen obviously you're friends with me on Facebook and stuff
Yes.
too. You know that I act like I own a little white rabbit.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the first time, Mike, look at my profile picture. He's sitting on my shoulder in the picture. But the first time I brought him home, my brother looks at him and goes, "I think that thing's like maybe a monster because it's got like the black around its eyes, just like my mask." And I was like, "Yeah, he looks really cool, right?" And oh man, that's gonna be marketable. And I was just like, I gotta figure out a way to do this because I've never had that thing. There it is. That's Yeti. That's
Yeti?
Yeti, and his legal name is Yeti. Spaghetti Yeti, the Black Beast of Canterbog. So
oh my God,
that's registered. But no, I thought he looked awesome. I wanted to change something up, and it played into like what we were doing at the time, and I ended up just loving it. So I was like, well, let's try this. And then no joke, the first night that I went on the road with it, I made like $600 in masks and T-shirts, and I was just like, why did I not do this sooner? Everyone should have a mask.
Yeah.
Honestly, the first piece of indie merch I ever purchased in my life was a Delirious mask.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I had ever seen Delirious. I saw him once at IWC. This was years ago at this point.
The one random time you visited Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Like, I saw Delirious. I'm like, oh, that is potentially my new favorite wrestler. and during intermission, he had a merch stand, obviously, and he had one mask left. I'm like, sir, I would like to kindly take my money. I would like to buy your wares. And I still have my Delirious mask. I think it's over here somewhere. Yeah, actually.
There it is. There it is.
Still have it.
Yes.
It's
yes.
fucking dope. Like,
He's the man too.
Yeah.
Really cool guy.
Yeah. Yes, great conversationalist. Let me do some business, and we were going to learn a little bit more about Zach Rain here and a little bit more about wrestling in general, I believe. But anyways, and I lost everything. You can communicate with us, as I was starting to say, over at that email address.
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. 412-206-WMN0 is that number that you already put on your ex-girlfriend's number
Contact
in your
information.
phone. And also hit us up at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. We find this other great podcast. A couple weeks ago, we did talk with Joe Dombrowski about the Brian Pillman Memorial Anthology and everything going on with that and his work with, of course, Brian Pillman Jr. on putting it together, and Les Thatcher down there with Heartland Wrestling Association. By the way, sorry, trigger warning. Don't drive through Cincinnati. My God, what a fucking mess it is over there. They closed a bridge to get to the other state, and apparently everybody wants to fucking get out of Ohio.
I'm
Sorry.
I'm gonna double down on that.
Okay.
Don't go to Ohio.
Listen. Like, I can't not go
There's
to
a couple
Ohio.
states you can just never go to.
Ohio is just a bad transition move to the decent states where things are happening, unfortunately. So I got a lot of great...
but
and
see,
by
they
the
tell
way,
you in the name. They tell you in the name
Hi.
because it's like, oh, hi. Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Well, we have a lot of great friends in Ohio, or at least used to be.
And
what's up,
you'll notice.
What's up, Shane Taylor?
None of them are there anymore.
No, he left. Yeah, he left. Some of them are back. Some of them
Most
are...
of them aren't even billed from Ohio
No,
anymore.
that's true, too. So, but...
Look, The Miz has moved from The Miz has moved as far away from Ohio as he can.
Exactly. Like everybody from Ohio claims Hollywood. I don't know what that's about. But anyways, or Hollywood, Florida.
And Tina said, "Why do you think I left?" See, Tina knows.
She went, and she went as far as she could without crossing an ocean.
While staying in the continental United States.
My God. Okay, this podcast, we're a podcast, by the way. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts and things like that, if that's still a thing, because there was an update today. But you can follow, subscribe. I don't know what it is anymore over there, but please, are there reviews? If there's still reviews, we probably need new reviews, because they probably got rid of all the old ones. So, hey, please, once you update your iPhone or whatever, give us new reviews, because they probably broke all the old ones. We need new reviews on the Apple Podcast app, even if you don't listen to us over there.
Here's what you do. Rate us 5 stars. Then feel free to talk all the shit you want.
Oh,
as long
yeah.
as we get the 5
Yeah.
stars.
So let me tell you how much I don't like Mad Mike. 5 stars. Yeah, you just
honestly,
there you go.
please bring it. Bring it.
You know
I
what?
accept all
You know what?
constructive criticism. I ignore it all, but I accept it all.
The reviews are all just going to be like, man, it's a really well organized podcast. Everything's great, except for when Chest Flexor or Zach Rain are on, and then it's off the rails the entire time.
Here we go. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. You know what Mad Mike really hates? 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Fucking hate them. Fucking
reverse psychology. You can also.
Sorg, you know what I love?
What?
I love 1 stars.
There you go. There you
Just
go.
1 star. You know why? Because I am the fucking star. That's
Our
why.
reviews are going to be so weird. You're also live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live, the Wrestling Mayhem Show YouTube page. Keep an eye on that. Make sure Garza's not hanging out in there. And the Sorgatron Media Twitch. That sounded weird. Like
DP is asking in the chat room, are we updating the name to the Fuck Ohio podcast?
I mean,
God, guys.
in our hearts and minds. And Oklahoma. Fuck Oklahoma. It's below Ohio.
We're really
Oklahoma,
salty.
we're the racists sweeping down the lane.
Whoa, okay. Anyways,
We're really salty for being on with the guy who doesn't swear at all.
You know what? Any state that starts with an O and states that start with an I,
yeah.
watch yourselves.
Watch
You're on thin ice.
I
You're on
don't.
thin ice.
All right.
It's fine.
All right. Hey, I got good friends in a nice state.
No, I know. I mean,
What?
I'm
Indiana.
just saying,
Indiana.
just tell
Also,
them to watch themselves. That's all.
Indiana, also a transition state. But anyways,
You know, I bleep Bronco when he does this, right?
also, thank you to our Patreon supporters who for some reason still give us money to support the show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Our friends are fan of the show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! And Ed Burke, Team Hammerfist, thank you for the stickers. Poppy Club level, Dave Ponner of the iPhoneography Podcast, and our friends at OccupyProWrestling.com. At the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, who has been sharing his AEW Dark love earlier I saw. Kyle Turner, the Riz of Riz Plays Games, and Bobby F. J-Town. And at our manager level, the ones that make all the big moves, friends at Farnsworth Investments, Bradley Ruthers, Tina Keys, and thank you everybody that supports the show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. 15 minutes in, and I've finally done the business. So let's talk about other business, including some people that don't have jobs. And that includes some people that probably shouldn't have a while ago. There was a big cut, of course, unfortunately, shout-outs, not shout-outs, but I don't know, condolences? I don't know what it is.
Shout-outs.
Shout-outs to the unemployed, which unfortunately includes friend of the show, Jake Clemens. He was, of course, you know him as the hired ref or whatever with the Seth Rollins T-shirt from Raw sometime in the last, what was that, probably 2019 or early 2020 when that happened, right? But I know he's already, don't worry, he's laying on his feet because he's already on AIW's show coming up in Ohio, speaking of. So, love you guys, John Thorne. But I hope you weren't listening this week. So, but anyways,
well, we can hate the state and still like things in it.
Yeah, sure.
Sorg, I hate New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I love Six Flags.
I've seen a lot of wrestling in New Jersey, I realized.
Mhm.
So
Sorry, we've seen WrestleManias in New
my
Jersey.
New Jack. Well, I've seen a WrestleMania, but I've seen a New Jack. I have a New Jack story from New Jersey. So, you know.
Oh boy, I need to. I'll tell my New Jack story sometime.
Okay. Okay. All right. All
You'll
right.
you guys will have to remind me.
So in the meantime, we do have other releases. Again, it was a very NXT and Performance Center centered release. Of course, he was taken out last Tuesday from Imperium, but former Sanity member Alexander Wolf was
I think his contract just ran.
And it was his contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, thank you for the visuals, comicbook.com, apparently. That was like, these are the people and not just the names, because you're probably not going to remember them. Others, again, more PC people. Ezra Judge was another one. Skylar Story, who done a lot of Evolve and Shine, I think it was. Vanessa Bourne.
Friends,
oh God, the audio's going. Why is the audio going? Okay. Vanessa Bourne has
they can't embed their tweets properly.
Vanessa, no, why is my computer not muted? Vanessa Bourne, who we've seen a lot. Like,
yeah, that was shocking to me.
Yeah,
Vanessa Bourne was probably the most shocking one out of this wave of releases.
She was she a Mae Young Classic participant?
She was in both of them.
She was in both of them.
Yeah, she was in both of them. She was with the Robert Stone brand for a little bit. Like,
oh yeah. I know this is one you were sad about. Jessamine Duke of the Four Horsewomen.
Now, from what I've heard, she will still be involved with Up Up Down Down.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
So because that, like, honestly, the BRE, they're fantastic. They're very, very fun to watch, and she's kind of like the head. I don't want to say the head of it, but she's kind of like the most utilized on Up, Down, Down.
And that is a thing of concern, because Up Up Down Down is really a WWE property now, right?
Well, yeah,
like there was
that's another reason I was so ticked when Samoa Joe was let go.
Right.
Samoa Joe was all over Up Up Down Down.
So here's the other thing with and even to that point, like I don't know if you shared or somebody else did. Like there was a search for a video producer for Up Up Down Down. I saw a listing for. Like that's how independent it is. I almost applied for that one. So as if I don't have enough to do. But let's see. Kavita Devi. I don't know. I might be
Kavita Devi.
Devi. Thank you. She was in Mae Young Classic 2017.
Yes.
She was pegged as like the first Indian signee, right?
Yeah, I believe she was injured when they did that India spectacle show.
Yeah, that's right.
I think she was on a video package.
Yeah, so she was last seen on the Worlds Collide event, but has not competed since July 2019.
She's been injured, as far as I know.
And on the referee side, like we said, Jake Clements. I think there might have been one or two other referees, but mainly the big one is Drake, Drake Wirtz. The former Drake Younger, I believe, of CZW days. Now that one is one, and we'll talk about another one that has some controversy around it. He's one that I know has been torn apart for some tweets he said over the last year with the events going on, and of course there's an anniversary of one of those events today with George Floyd. But that led to a lot of these issues with a lot of these guys that we don't like to see on our TV anymore sometimes. But, so, and even like with this, all allegations, obviously nothing confirmed publicly or anything like that. But I'm reading articles talking about.
There's enough stuff that's public about him that it's fine to say, fuck him.
Yes. Everything from minority members of the roster just expressing discomfort of working with him, to actual, like, I think one of them was talking about it was some all hands meeting down at NXT with like Triple H talking about the social justice things going on, and he had just like got up and left the room or something, right? Yeah. Like issues like that.
Yeah, there's enough public videos of him in his local community espousing just absolute bullshit.
Yeah. So like stuff just very problematic to nature for a company that espouses to be a very inclusive company. So, and also with that, also let go. I think since Wednesday, like I feel like this just happened the last couple of days, or maybe that's just my awareness. But what?
DP said Quake Quartz with Q's instead of.
No, okay.
Just draw your own
Oh
conclusions on that.
man.
Oh,
Listen.
thank you.
So just so I have no affiliation with that rabbit logo.
Oh!
Zero.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't think.
That happened. I was a rabbit first.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Has this come up a few times
It-
since?
Once or twice, but I think people get to know me relatively fast. and
Yeah.
my rep's pretty
Listen,
good.
your
Like,
your
some people
Facebook,
are like, nah.
your Facebook is
I-
very clear about your position on things.
I
So
am
I'm just
I
gonna
am
say,
a card carrying member of Anonymous.
yeah. There you go.
Who's not anonymous at all.
Yes, yes. So there's that, but also let go in the last week, and I don't think this was the same day. Was Velveteen Dream, who hasn't been seen on television for
A while.
not a
it's
year.
only-
He was
It's
taken
only-
out by Ciampa, I think.
Yeah,
it's only,
yeah.
I think he's had like maybe 4 appearances in a year or something.
Yeah, he came
Something
back
like that.
because he disappeared around the speaking out movement. There were allegations about some underage, and I haven't read his statement because he has come out and talked about his side of the story since he's left WWE. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Don't know if I want to. But and they had him back again, I think in the fall for a series of matches that were not great for him. So whatever that was about. So it's just stuff that. And again, speaking on a corporate culture side, surprisingly that they took so long to have done, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Drake, it's not like Drake was taken off TV or anything. Like, he's definitely been a part of, you know, week-to-week matches, I believe.
Yeah, he was almost like the head referee. In
Yeah,
NXT.
I think he was the head referee, right? You know, he was the one when I was there and they did the 2 cage matches. He was basically the ringleader, getting people, you know, organized for like, you know, literally the referees put together the ring, you know, the cages during that. It was kind of fun to see. So okay, good on you, WWE, for finally taking care of a problem.
And I mean,
But
there are still some problematic people. in
oh,
both.
absolutely, and there's always going to be
Like there are still
you
some
know-
people, and there's people in AEW too that
Oh, absolutely.
have not seen hide nor hair of any kind of, you know, take like loss of TV time or anything.
Right,
like that.
right. So, I mean, but you know, these were maybe some of the worst offenders. It sounds like. So good to see some of this, but also there is like it's kind of a don't applaud WWE for this just yet because it took them almost a year
It took them too
of
long.
issues
You're
to
right.
take care of this. And what is that?
And
you know-
again, we don't know the contractual.
No, we don't. We
stakes
don't know
or anything like that,
contractual.
so-
There's also the issue of any of these guys could be let go and filed a wrongful termination lawsuit for
Yeah.
any of this. And that's a real matter, unfortunately. So so if you're like, these guys are pieces of shit, why are they employed? You know, you got to remember it's not that black and white of an issue on the corporate, legal, and PR, HR. Let's try to fix this something. You know, because anything like this, hey, somebody did something, it was pretty shitty. Is it worse to let them go to talk about it or keep them on and try to not fix, but, you know, deal with the problem? And it's the unfortunate moral ambiguity point that corporations find themselves in, if that makes sense. And remember, this is WWE, not a quote wrestling company. So this is like saying Disney had some problematic people.
Well, like the side of it that I've like seen and like I've talked to like guys that are, you know, they're lawyers and stuff like that are part of the business, and it sounds like a lot of the times they run into a situation where to split clean they have to be given like written warnings and counseling sessions and stuff like that,
Right.
and then each time it has to be a new violation, and like once they stack up they can be like, hey, you're not showing any remorse.
Right. There has to be like an attempt of corrective action, right? So, and I can understand, you know, not knowing the full breadth of the allegations with Velveteen Dream. I can't remember what his real name is. Like, I don't know how clear those would have been to execute on, right? It could be how much of it is hearsay, how much it was like screenshots that could or could not be doctored and things like that. How definitive can that be? And that's the unfortunate part of it seems of some of the allegations. So, you know, it's never such like if any of us were running a company, obviously we'd do what we think was right. But that's, you know, we're not Vince and all the people there on
and we're
whatever
not also
layers.
publicly traded.
Yeah, we're also publicly traded companies. So, you know, when Sorgatron Media becomes a publicly traded company, you know, and 50 years. But
If Mad Mike ever runs for Senate in Ohio.
Oh, I've said
In
way too
Ohio.
many things on here to not qualify.
yo,
for
in
that.
Ohio,
Oh,
I know.
hold on, Ohio?
listen. Have you seen the Ohio politicians? Are you kidding me?
I was gonna say might have a chance. Actually,
Then
it
again,
might help.
Then again, I watched your sitting mayor of your former residence like eating hamburgers on his
Alright.
COVID
Yeah.
speech. So I don't know what the fuck's going on up there. How's your lottery, Mad Mike?
I haven't gotten a damn lottery
No.
thing at all.
I think you're technically in it or something. I don't know. You bought the ticket with the jab, man.
Okay, well then,
That's what I understand.
hey, all right. I'll say this: if for some reason, I just stop showing up on this show, it's because I've won the lottery,
Oh, there you go. We know. We're like,
and
well,
I've now been buried in Legos.
I knew. I was waiting for it. I was going to say it if you did.
yes.
Yeah.
He's built his own house out of Legos. With a nice carpet so he can be
Yeah,
barefoot, I guess.
have to have nice carpet.
Also, more releases. It sounds like there was several levels of releases across the company. It sounds like WWE Network area has been hit pretty hard. And you're going to say, well, there's no WWE Network. No, there's a WWE Network. It's just not in America because of the deal. It still exists other places. Watch our video about VPNs and how you can still watch WWE Network out of the UK over on our YouTube page. So that was like so still some cleaning house, still some readjustments, I'm sure, from what is WWE coming out of the COVID era. As obviously when we talked about last night, I believe, the live events coming back because they're going to have to hire back or rebuild their live touring department that they let go a year ago, right? But also not let go, but mutually let go was that new announcer,
and Burke.
Adnan Virk of Monday Night Raw. So I don't know what that replacement is going to be because this just came out, and he was there last night. And it was, and by his notice, it sounds like it was a matter of I have other jobs, and the travel's too much. So
Yeah, he probably didn't realize that they'd be going back to a touring schedule this quickly.
that's the other thing too. It was like, oh, I don't know, maybe he was coming out of somewhere in Florida, right? Now he's like, oh, now I got to travel for.
Also, let's face facts. It wasn't great.
I don't understand where he came from. Cause I'm like, where did
He came from MLB.
he came in MLB? And it's just like, when's the last time they pulled somebody directly in from another thing and it's worked real well, right?
Well, Scott Stanford.
Yeah, but Scott's
No,
not
but-
announcing Raw. He
He was for a little bit.
He was really.
Yeah, Scott Stanford. I can double check this.
Double
but I'm
check
fairly
that.
positive. He
Like,
was an announcer on
he's
Raw at
great.
some
He does
point.
backstage. He does those shows. He does a lot of stuff in the Stanford studio, even before everybody did for the pre-shows in COVID era. But and he's been good with that. And when you say he's a local weather guy up there, right? So,
Yeah, he was the play-by-play guy on Superstars.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's okay. Superstars, which they.
Well, no, like Superstars when like the Undertaker and stuff was on it.
Oh, and like the
Like-
the WGN,
Like back in 2010.
yeah, the WGN version of Superstars, right?
Yeah.
When they rebooted it.
And
no,
he
yeah.
also he replaced okay, he mostly did Superstars, but
Yeah.
I think that's more due to his other commitments rather
right,
than
and that was probably a studio produced commentary, likely. I don't know, maybe, but likely. So there you go. And we're keeping an eye out here live on the show. Though we have NXT up here in the corner, so we're going to keep an eye out. We do have a new champion. I saw that Killer Cross and Balor brother are starting their match right now. So WWE's still making moves, and of course AEW this weekend, Double or Nothing. What was I saying? I was like, they're doing a really good job. It's a show I want to buy, and I will be buying this weekend. We're going to be doing something here at the studio. I mean, most of our Mayhem local crew are vaxxed up, so we're not having any problem with that, I feel. But
I want to say this.
you're coming down for the pay-per-view?
AEW, I wanted to watch your pay-per-view in a movie theater.
Yeah?
There's
That's a great idea.
There's nowhere around here that
No.
has it.
Yeah, it's and that was the problem when TNA did it too. We had like one movie theater, and thankfully, if they had not put the one in over here by the airport, I would have to drive like an hour out of town to this other mall that doesn't have anything anymore. So watch it. So because it's a
That
certain
one
chain.
up by, I really like that one up by the airport. My buddy lives like right there. It's
Mhm.
awesome.
It's a Cinemark, and
Free
it's one of
plug.
yeah, it's Cinemark with the comfy chairs and everything, right? So, I when I was driving Lyft, I actually drove home one of the managers, and it was right when the Movie Pass stuff was happening, and I had a very interesting conversation about that.
Man.
He was just like, "Yeah, about that Movie Pass." Turns out he was right. So, but man, did I pay for stubs for a while. AEW doing, of course, they're doing some fan meet and greets and things like that. They have some specialized stuff going on there. But I'm trying to find a rundown for the Double or Nothing itself. Of course, we have a Stadium Stampede. Really enjoyed last year's. I'm sure they're going to have fun. I don't know what that looks like with fans, though, this time. I guess they're going to be watching the main event on the screen. But I don't know.
Yeah, I can give you the rundown of the matches if you want, Sork.
I got them up here, too. So,
I'm also pulling it up.
yes. Inner Circle, the Pinnacle, of course, and so I mean that we saw War
And
Games.
if the Inner Circle loses, then they have to split up.
Yes.
So you know they're not going to lose.
You can read the tea leaves on that, sure, but hey, they'll be going out. You know what? It's time. It's been what, a year and a half of the Inner Circle. I think they've done their course, right? And then the Pinnacle becomes the new big baddies, and hopefully we see more Wardlow actually wrestling than looking good in
Hey,
the suit.
I'm all for a fucking faction breaking up in AEW.
That's right. That's
I'm
right.
all for that.
If it leads to Wardlow punching some heads, I'm good. Main event is going to be Pac, Kenny Omega, and Orange Cassidy for the AEW Championship.
Well, Orange Cassidy may opt out.
Oh, yeah, he may opt out on Friday.
But you know what? I hate to say it. If I'm Orange Cassidy, and I'm already injured,
Yes.
and I have the choice to heal and get a future title shot, I'm kind of gonna take that.
You know, honestly, if you're Orange Cassidy, like, the character of Orange Cassidy could still just sign off and not do it because he doesn't want to. Like, the idea of Orange Cassidy. So, you know, it does add a question mark to it. The Young Bucks against somebody who said is going to be doing a good
Mox and Eddie.
music video from one of their one of their pictures. Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Great promos by the Bucks, by the way, on BTE this week on this match. So I'm looking forward to it. God, Eddie Kingston.
How Eddie Kingston has not already had like 13 title reigns in AEW is beyond me.
Well, I'll tell you what, because he's not the guy they expected to be quite on top, but he just freaking has killed it. And
That's what he does.
Yeah,
it's what he's always done. Like I remember like going out to shows like in Philly when we were like, but we green beans, and before I knew a whole lot even about him, and he was first off, he's everywhere, and second, it didn't matter what the environment was, whether it was like CCW or Chikara, he just adapts and succeeds. It's like what he does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Women's.
I would, I would have loved to see what Eddie Kingston would have done in Lucha Underground.
Oh jeez.
Would have loved to see it because you give him anything.
He would have actually backfisted people into the future.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very possible. It's very, very likely.
Nice feud with Aerostar. For the women's title. And by the way, that's for the tag championship with the Bucks and Kingston and Moxley. Women's title, Karu Shida against Britt Baker.
If they do not pull the trigger on Britt Baker and give her the belt, I will stop
Britt
watching.
Baker, I'll be out of town, but Britt Baker will be back in Pittsburgh for Steel City Con, and I'm with you. She's going to have a belt with her.
If Britt Baker does not have that belt, I'm going to stop watching AEW.
I think it's I think it's a pretty strong chance, guys.
Yo, if she doesn't,
I think so too, but you never.
I will say this: if she does not do it on the pay-per-view, she will do it in a wild rematch that Wednesday on Dynamite.
Nope, I'm sorry, it has to be on the pay-per-view. Has to be.
I think it's time. I think it's time.
I'm not on the. It has to happen on pay-per-view. It's. Well, that's another conversation. I don't want to get into that one yet. That's a conversation for another time. I am looking forward to this.
Don't
TNT champion Miro against Lance Archer.
Ooh, me likey this one.
Fucking monster fight.
That's gonna be real. Now, you know what's funny? If you told me 5 years ago I'd be excited to watch Rusev versus Vance Archer. I'd have punched you in the dick.
You'd be like, yo, hey, Rusev, and you know that dude Lance Hoyt over on Impact?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have punched you straight in the dick.
Yo, you know that
But-
guy Lance Archer that popped up for 3 weeks on like ECW or something or SmackDown? Like that dude?
Yeah, that
like-
guy with Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, that
him.
guy with Kurt Hawkins. You know, you're gonna be like loving the idea of him and Rusev in 2021.
I'm hoping against hope that Miro puts Jake Roberts in the game over.
Oh my gosh!
I'm hoping
Oh,
against
jeez.
hope that happens.
What if?
I want that.
What
so-
if?
Fuck, I'll take Miro versus Jake Roberts.
What if hypothetically?
that.
How do we feel about hypothetically? Jake Roberts screw job and he starts siding with Miro. I'll let the reaction shot on you. How do you feel
Hang
about
on, I want to try to mimic it. It was.
it?
Oh man, that'd be wild.
I mean, Jake. I love like Jake, like just pocking him up, but also kind of afraid of him at the same time with Lance right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah,
And-
like you could definitely do kind of what they have with Roman and Heyman with Miro and Jake Roberts.
A little bit. Not as good of.
Not as good,
yeah.
but you could definitely
I
do
mean,
it.
yeah, like Jake is. Jake doesn't have time to be Jake and be that good slow promo because Lance wants to beat somebody up too bad.
Mhm.
It's an awesome dynamic, which I love when he gets on commentary during like the darks and stuff, and they're like, well, how do you control him? And it's like, you try to control him, it's kind of stuff. It's great, and it makes Lance look bigger because like Jake,
And honestly, AEW needs more strong solo faces.
yeah, oh, absolutely.
And Lance Archer would be good, especially if he got turned on.
Well, I think Lance is practically a face at this point.
No, I mean he is, but at the same time, it
He's
depends
a
on,
face that
It
bullies
depends
small
on
guys.
who you point him at.
He's a
you
face,
know?
but he bullies the small wrestlers, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
but he was just beating the shit out of Orange Cassidy and Phoenix not that
He
long
was,
ago.
but he beats the shit out of
No.
everybody. Like he's kind of like, well, there's a lot of tweeners, of course. AEW, it's a potential problem depending on your opinion of that situation. But anyways, speaking of big badasses, Brian Cage and Hangman Page.
It's the Cage versus Page match.
Cage versus Page.
I think that one has the biggest potential to be a show stealer if they
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, there's always a chance there. Like that, I don't think that that's one of the ones that has a ton of gasoline poured on it. Like,
No.
like the fans aren't like freaking out. But I think from a technical standpoint, like the story that could be told and the stuff that those two are going to be able to do,
Mhm.
that's a dark horse match.
I really hope they kind of keep the factions out of
Yes,
it. Like
yeah,
we don't get a Dark Order versus Team Taz brawl, but
Yeah.
I have a feeling we will.
We were going to have a match, not a cinematic match. Sting and Darby Allin, Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page. I'm curious to see how they do it. I just
I have a question, and this is legit. This is a legitimate question, because I don't know when this happened. When did Scorpio Sky leave SCU?
He just kind of started going off on his own.
Okay,
in
so there was
singles.
never anything official.
No, there was never like fuck you guys,
Okay.
I'm doing over here because it was always like these guys are going to tag over here. Then like the odd man out was going to go do some single stuff, right? So
Okay, so
and
there was never anything
there was
on like
there was a point.
Elevation,
No,
Dark Elevation.
Yeah, there was
BTA,
no there's
that crap.
definitely not building to the TNT title match like they came back around on that, but even before that there was some build to a match on Dynamite where he just came out and said, "Hey, I'm a first."
Oh yeah, no, I remember
you know.
that, but like
Yeah. There was like
Okay,
there,
so that
there
was it.
There was
So
him
there's
coming
nothing,
out
like-
and basically declaring his single status,
okay.
just like on
Okay.
Facebook. No, I mean, there was definitely that distinction in his promo work, but not just like an "F you guys." And he was never really like he kind of soft separated from SCU.
Okay, I
Right,
was just making
yeah.
sure there wasn't something I missed.
No,
because,
no, there
like
wasn't.
all of a sudden he started hanging out with Ethan Page. I'm
Yeah.
like, when the fuck did this happen?
And,
like,
and also remember he had the TNT title match after he did the brass ring thing at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, the
and
hula
the
hoop.
turn was the hula hoop, yeah. The donut championship. And he did that's when he beat up Darby after the match and started smiling, and basically that was the heel turn kind of thing. Before he was just like determined, I'm going to do this and make something for myself. You know,
Okay.
so I also remember
I was just making sure that there was
one of the first tag team champions with Kaz in AEW. So he already has a little bit of a lineage with that kind of stuff. So why is Lisa Loeb on my TV?
I can't.
Hey,
I can't.
Sorg.
I can't see the chat. Are Dan Hooven and my wife arguing?
Oh no!
Because
is that
apparently
happening?
that might be happening.
Oh no! If it is, if it's happening
I
on,
mean, if it is, I'm taking your wife's side because I honestly.
I think everybody will.
I mean, fuck Hooven.
I'm not aware of this. I'm
Just in general.
Oh,
Never been
He
a fan.
slapped Tony. you didn't see the promo from last week? He slapped Tony Kincaid, our buddy from the show.
Well, that's just rude.
Yeah. So
Someone needs to kick him in the dick.
there you go. There's a lot of dick kicking.
I
happening.
will volunteer.
There's a gift going around with Jesus Club dick kicking from a few weeks ago. So I don't
Three
know what
people
that's-
at once or something, right?
Yeah, like the Gambinos and somebody else, right? So I don't know what that is. Listen, I don't go to that church. Okay, anyways, so Double or Nothing. Looking forward to it this weekend.
Sorg, who's your pick for the Casino Battle Royal?
I don't know, but like everybody's in it, right? So what do they get? Do they get like a title shot or something?
Title shot.
like title of their choosing or something?
No, world title, I think.
World title?
I hope they don't waste it on Christian.
Man, can I get?
I can see it. But
Can I get random Forbidden Door person? Like, can Filthy Tom Lawler come
All right,
in
do
and win
you
that
want to
thing?
hear who's in it so far?
No, I don't actually.
Oh boy, okay.
I don't actually. It's just like everybody, and I don't want to. So
Okay.
actually, I like being surprised to be quite honest with it. So, and it's on the buy.
Well, all right. Yeah.
But,
oh, and also we one match we need to talk about, the Fight for America.
That's not even listed on the website.
That's
not
why I go
even-
to Wiki. That's why I
I
go to
didn't.
Wikipedia.
I didn't see it, and I have no idea what you're talking about. So now I'm interested.
Cody is the
And
American Dream for
the-
one night only. Did a
Yeah.
very patriotic promo that pissed a lot of people off
Oh,
against Anthony Ogogo, the what is he, a bronze medalist boxer, who's
Something like
been
that, yeah.
punching the spleen out of everybody from Cole Carter to I don't know, was Palace in there? Did Palace lose a spleen? Like his finishing move is punching you in the gut to the point where they have to stop the match.
Mhm.
So once.
Have you? This is hilarious because we literally just talked about this with there was a green kid that he doesn't have a gimmick name or anything yet. He was asking, he saw somebody get put down in a boxing match by a liver punch, and he was like, I just don't understand. I'm like, have you ever been punched in the liver? It's like literally the worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah. You know, it's like yeah.
Like,
Suffer from a bruised liver.
Here's what I wonder. Why is he just the American Dream for one night only? Like, just call yourself the American Dream if you want to.
I don't know. It was like kind of a left field. Let's make this a giant patriotism thing.
Also, the Revolutionary War is restarting, so that's good to know.
Oh, wait, was that part of the promo?
Essentially.
Okay.
Did Texas cut a promo that I wasn't?
It would be great if he did this whole thing and it's like, and Texas should secede. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? What happened? Cody, what are we doing here?
And it'll be a cold, cold day in the ground before.
Cody, you're doing some strange things with this platform of yours. The governor, Anthony Ogogo. Listen, man, the only thing I'm happy for Anthony Ogogo to be Ogogo. I'm at Ogogo, Mr. Gogo. I'm happy that he's doing some good stuff and he's in a very main event kind of spot here with the Cody. And
I hope he actually gets a win.
And I think he's going to be a big star here with AEW, right? But I miss him on Dark, driving Taz nuts by using English terminology. So, but anyways, all right, guys. But we'll be.
I'm just double checking to see if there's anything else we're missing.
All right, check in, and we'll come back on it here if there is
Okay, no,
anything
we're good.
big. I think that's the biggest stuff. There might be some little matches here and there will get added, but I think that's the significant things for this weekend to look forward to.
Yeah,
If you're
probably
gonna
Danny Limelight will
Put
get
money.
added to the free
Listen, motherfucker, Danny Lamlight's gonna win that battle royal, whatever the fuck we talked about. That's
Okay,
what's
there
gonna
you go.
happen. Okay, don't tell me there's no stars on Dark, Mike. Anyways, sorry. I want to get better. I want to settle down. I want to breathe. go check out indiewrestling.us. There's a lot of fine wrestling on there that won't piss you off. And there's no Danny Limelights, but there is a White Rabbit, Zach Rain, and you can find out what the heck's a White Rabbit, and other fun facts like there over at 2PW. Latest episode Payback is up there from just a couple weekends ago, actually, on no, that's the wrong one. IndieWrestling.network. You can check out that, and of course, as they're coming back, of course, our friends with Rise Wrestling coming back on June 19th. That will be also up on VOD network and DVD as usual. We actually have DVD subscriptions. That'll be nice to have shows to have DVD subscriptions with. Although we have some subscribers, they're very, they're catching up on the back catalog, and it's been tremendous for them. So a lot of stuff going on there, and of course, in the works now, Pro Wrestling Conquest from this weekend, which included, amongst other things, pre-orders are up now. It's in the works right now because, damn it, I've been on the road, and we had to send team number 2 out there to Charleston, West Virginia. But the main event, of course, the main event tonight, Dark already has passed, and Gannon Jones and Duke Davis had singles matches tonight. Duke Davis was a singles match with Mike's buddy Camarado there. So I'm looking forward to check that out while I edit the show tonight. And Taz's reaction to the whole thing. But go check out a lot of those guys that are popping up there on AEW. You can see, just search for them over at indiewrestling.us.network, whatever you might be checking out, and check that out. And also, like I said, look up Zach Rain of Prospect Pro Wrestling, the White Rabbit, a part of that. And like Zach, you're one of those guys when we started doing Prospect. Like, of course, I know a lot of the roster from my years working like other promotions in the area, and and then there was like, I'm looking at the roster, I'm like, okay, this guy. I was like, who the fuck is Zach Rain?
Thanks.
But of course, right away, he had a great first match with the promotion with the Rev, and I was like, okay, this is the guy to keep an eye on. So sorry, listen. Whenever I'm introduced to anybody on one of these shows, the first thought in my head is like, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh my goodness.
That's my standard response for people.
I was out of the area for a while. Like, I was out, like,
well, yeah,
I mean, not that far, but like, I mean, Harrisburg was kind of like its own thing for a while, and like, you could work every weekend, and then I kind of came back and I was like, oh yeah, I guess nobody in Pittsburgh remembers.
Well, yeah, and I understand, like, there's things where, like, there's promotions that have been down the road that I didn't know, like, half the people there, just because you don't have the circles, you don't have the awareness and things, right? So I knew you're like a Central PA guy, and I know you worked with like some promotions out there, like say Harrisburg, Altoona. It was basically you and Dave Headfield. I'm just like, I had the big question marks on going into that. So because I think he's from your area too, right? I mean, you're tag team partners.
So we ran into each other. We ran into each other whenever he was first starting out. And I met him through Ed House, and he lives all the way out in York. So like he started doing Prospect because he like desperately likes to get into fights with like Bronco and Roden. What a
hobby.
Like, oh yeah, like he just likes people to beat him up. Like he comes out and he's like, hey, it's 3 hours to your house and only 2.5 hours from your house to Prospect. Can I park at your house and ride with you? And I'm like, yeah, like, okay. So like, that's just what happens every single time now.
And it's a strange, like, I don't think people like realize how wide Pennsylvania. I mean, God, we're not Texas or anything, but like, it is like 6 hours to that end of the state, right? And versus like the same time gets you through, as I say, the pass-through states of Indiana and Ohio. So like that's the thing, like Philadelphia is like a distant dream out there somewhere that we hear about and has a freaky mascot. So it's a big deal for you guys to come over from like York to, or for Detective Dave Headfield to come do something even we're just east of the city here in Pittsburgh, right? So but yeah, go ahead.
That's another one of those things where, like, too, I don't want to get off subject real bad, but like
this is the show is getting off subject. Don't worry about it.
I know. So like they hammer you to do the drives, and even just in the state, like if I wouldn't have been driving, because I was living almost in Philadelphia whenever I met Marshall, and if I wouldn't have been driving out for just whatever was open on my weekends, like I think it was Five Star the first time he saw me work,
Mhm.
and I drove like, I think me and Het did like 6 hours or something to get the Five Star.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, doing whatever, and I remember Marshall saying like, "Hey, if I ever put something together, I'd love to have you." And it was like 4 years later, and I just get a random call from him. He's like, "Hey, remember talking to me?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "We're doing that thing," and I was like, "Let's go. I live closer now. It'll be great."
Yeah, of course, Marshall Gambino, the promoter of Prospect Pro Wrestling. It's so wild to me still to have, the guy that was in the tag team that was the Gambino Moving Company, which like was like the whole thing was running a possibly sort of illegitimate business in a mob style, and now he like runs a maybe legitimate business of a wrestling promotion. So I mean, it all kind of goes together, right?
It could just be a complete long con.
Yeah, didn't we say that? Like basically the moving company did so well now that there's a wrestling promotion. So
I mean, he's basically the Italian heritage Dario Cueto.
Wow, I need a minute on that one.
Deep cut.
I need a minute on that one because
Yeah.
Oh, he's the bull.
Uh-huh.
So it comes together.
It's all a rich tapestry.
Oh, because he's Marshall the Bull Gambino, like officially. So
him and Hentai are all of our like abusive uncles too. Like
yes.
I literally introduced it. Somebody, we were at Fight, and when Hentai and Dennis Gregory came in, like I went up to like just get advice from the scary short one himself, and he somebody's like, "How do you know Hentai?" I said, "Oh, that's my abusive uncle," and they looked at me like I was crazy.
That seems about right. So, but no, great. It's good to see we're 2 shows in with Prospect Pro Wrestling with fans, limited capacity, whatever that state number. I don't know what that is right now or where it is today for next month's show. Although I love next month's show is labeled max capacity. Like the name of the show is max capacity. So I don't know if it means all of our limitations will be raised in Pennsylvania finally, but that's my.
If we're filling the only 50 seats we're allowed to.
Or is it like are we is it a promise of max capacity for the building, or is it a only max capacity that we're like I haven't seen the rules on that one yet.
How has no one in this era changed their gimmick name to max capacity?
I was just about to say that's a debuting Green Kid. It's his name.
Yeah,
Darn it.
yeah.
We are on the same page tonight, man.
I told you.
He walks out waving his vaccination card like.
Oh, I like that. Well, it's like remember like a year ago we were just like, is somebody gonna?
And honestly, you know what his finisher is? The second shot, because you feel it afterwards.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh, wow.
I like it. Can he come out to I got the power?
Oh, he's got to do a Moderna Conrana.
Not bad.
The Pfizer lock, like we can do this.
We can
do this.
We really should do gimmicks as a service as a show.
I just hand out $100 ideas.
You do.
Just handing this stuff out.
That's
$20 and hot dog ideas.
Perfect for the indie level. Great ideas, right?
Hot dog and elbow bump ideas.
Yeah, you're right. We've been bowing too.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I haven't seen the bowing happening.
Oh my god! And that's how he starts a match. As he goes for the elbow bump instead of a handshake. Fuck!
Oh, so like it's like a code of honor thing, or okay,
yeah.
But do we also have that awkward thing where you're not on the same page of the other person, and like you're going for the elbow?
And,
okay.
And if he's a face, he enters through the crowd, but he wears a mask.
Listen, oh yeah. So here's I have another thing on that too for Pennsylvania. But here's the thing, like in Zach, you probably had this too. Like I have had the like. You know, there's the handshake when you walk in the building, right, with the boys, and sometimes I was doing the elbow bump, sometimes I'm fist bumping, and I literally had somebody that I mentioned earlier, I won't mention again, I believe did it, shook my fist. right?
That's awesome.
You know, or they'll fist bump my hand or my elbow or something like you know, it's fun. You know,
If he's
like
a
what the fuck
heel,
is gonna happen right now? What
if
part of the
he's a
body
heel,
are we
we
using?
can give him a valet named AstraZeneca, and she throws hand sanitizer in people's eyes.
Oh man, how is this
This
not?
is-
This is happening at
This
some.
is all a rich tapestry.
This is all happening.
We need a germaphobe. We need a severe germaphobe in the time of wrestling with COVID. Like that needs to happen.
How is Rhino not just real life did and became that, right? So
Oh man.
how is Rhino doing right now? That's the
I
question.
love that guy.
Yeah, dude, Rhino's amazing. He's an awesome dude. And surprisingly awesome dude, if that makes sense. I guess I just from like
And he lives on a
perceptions.
boat.
And, no, he doesn't live on a boat.
He does
has
live on a boat.
He has a boat.
No, Sorg, he lives on a boat. It's a houseboat.
Oh, this is an up. Okay, I didn't get the. Listen,
the
I didn't.
last time I heard, it was like a houseboat.
Oh my god, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it now. Listen, he did not reveal.
I thought
to me,
I remember saying
listen,
that.
Listen, it's been almost 10 years since I talked boats with Rhino. Okay, and he did not disclose that this was a houseboat he was talking about. So.
No, but I thought they were talking about like on the Edge and Christian podcast.
Oh,
that
were
he
they?
lives on a houseboat. Or I heard this somewhere.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, Rhino houseboat. Now that doesn't work because there's a Rhino Boats and Trailers company, so I can't really get past that
Yeah.
on the Google. Well, that
I'm
gets
looking
weird
now.
really quick. So, anyways, bringing it back to Zach. Of course, you were part of the recordings that we did with no fans or wrestlers as fans and things like that. I mean, for two
Yeah.
promotions last year, Fight Underground and Prospect Pro Wrestling. You know, how was it to get back in front of fans here in April for that would have been the Dime Time show for Prospect?
It was awesome. Somebody made fun of me. I think it was probably Flexer again. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell with that roster, but
Usually.
I kind of broke character like whenever I went out for my entrance. Like I remember standing up on the buckle and everybody like started, reacting and stuff. And like I was just like Cheshire Cat smiling ear to ear, and I was just like, oh man, I miss this.
Yeah.
Like I was not. I'll be honest. Like I didn't want to like get rusty and stuff. And I wanted to like still get in the ring and do my thing. But it's just different, especially like at this stage of like where I'm at in my career. Like I was almost like, this isn't what I do. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was really happy to have like the audience back.
Yeah. It's a big difference, definitely a different energy. And I remember that first show, just everybody, I can't like everybody was happy coming through that curtain, right? There was just an awesome energy there with that, and it was just you could feel it, for that, because there's a lot of those guys, you'll either they were in weird different venues where fans were a mile away, right? Or something like that. Like even when they came back with the precautions we had, it still felt relatively like a normal show, right? The way they had things set up. So and that was nice to see because again, I've seen other people doing wrestling shows in this state and others have similar regulations during this period, and it's like that's not the thing, right? Going into this, so but it was good. Yeah. But sorry, you have something?
Oh no, I just for whatever reason you were talking about regulations, and then I remember, and I think I'm allowed to talk about this, but we're getting like the rundown for what we're gonna do and stuff, and I get, hey, make sure you wear a mask down to the ring, and I go, I always do, and he goes, no, Zach, and I went, wait, under the mask, and he's like, yeah, and I went, all right, whatever, boss.
Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. So and for those on audio, like he has a rabbit mask and the mouth is covered. So and when we were doing masks,
I was told no.
Yeah. Oh no. Because when we were doing masks in the audience, there's certain performers like Scarlett. She wears a mask to the ring already, right? So it's just like, yeah, just wear your mask. Like that blocks everything, right? So, but I can understand the oversafety, and that was a weird. Not to get into the weeds on that.
Just put like one of the disposable masks over your.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
That's what I should have did. It
Yes.
was kind of just, it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was
And see if you can attach it to the ears.
and you hand it out like Bret Hart's glasses. I don't know.
That
Oh,
one might
no,
be,
not
that
exactly.
might be a $5 idea.
That's a $5. That might be a problematic idea. So, anyways, so you'll be at. I don't think any matches announced for you yet. I just saw them starting to roll out for the next Prospect Pro Wrestling show. But you've been having great matches with Jace Carr that we've had on the Indie Mayhem show and Fishing Without Bait. It's a great conversation there, and somebody I got to see over the weekend down there in Kentucky. So, who'd you have the month before? You had a 3-way, right? With was that Miles and Zeke, if I recall, or am I thinking of another?
That was
back in the day.
Right, that was right before the break. And man, I love that match, by the way. So thank you. But Mambo was the one right before Jace.
Oh, that's right, the Mambo match. So already some good stuff in there. So what are you looking for most as we're getting, like, obviously the momentum's building into, quote unquote regular shows here in the area. What are you most looking forward to that aspect of things?
Man, I don't know. The regular stuff is getting more regular again. Because I'm sure that you can tell filming some of us that there's certain styles that lend themselves to being in there constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think mine is kind of like that. The more I'm in there, the better I think I perform. So I think that just being able to pick up some odds and ends and stuff is cool. And honestly, just spending an entire year, usually you see a guy and you're like, me and that guy need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make it if as long as you work enough, you can make it happen pretty fast. Sitting around for a year going, I didn't get to work this guy. I didn't get to fight with this dude. I'd like to, get in there with this dude. That's been rough. So I think trying to clear my plate and not have wrestler ADD for matches, that'll be nice. But I want to wrestle everybody, especially at Prospect. That whole roster, man, is there are strong qualities about everybody. It's got an ECW vibe where everybody plays to their strengths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's a lot of younger guys learning there too, right? So you're seeing the development, which I think that's always to me. And I would say this might be why I love AEW Dark so much, because you're seeing new talents and you're seeing them grow from the ground floor, and that's what I've always loved about indie wrestling. Over the last 20 years I've been watching it, right? So and I know you're usually the guy where I see the let me have a match with this guy come up in comments in chat rooms. So that's always cool to see too. So Prospect Pro Wrestling max capacity coming up here. I believe that is June 26th, if I recall, round about that time. So this is the last Saturday of June. So look out for that, and of course you can check out everything going on. And I know you reposted this. You had a submission match in our closed tapings with Bronco McBride, which was fantastic. Yeah. One of the great. There was a lot of gold that came out of that day, that nearly 20 match filming day that we had back in June of last year. So there's some good stuff there. So go check those out. Those are on the network, or the training sessions like that are actually free on YouTube if you want to see what that was about. So some good stuff. Thank you, Zach, for being on the show. So
I love coming on, man.
So you're on most of the social medias. Just look for Zach Rain, the one with the rabbit mask, or an actual rabbit with him, if there's a rabbit related. So in the meantime, somebody who definitely was rocking all the way through the last year, Slice on Broadway, New York City style, Yinzer Made, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills. I gave them the warning tonight. I don't know if anything will come of it, that Beastman will be in the neighborhood next week. Beastman will be here on the show, and maybe you've seen the video when Beastman visited Slice on Broadway a while ago. There was a lot to clean up. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Kick in that fucking door.
Kick in that fucking door. But good conversations. Good chat. Good quick chat with my buds down there at Slice on Broadway tonight. So go check them out, sliceonbroadway.com. If you were not, I know, we got, some of our fans out there listening on the show, not in the area, maybe just decided to escape Ohio as far as they could. Whether, wherever you are, if you can't participate in our good friends at Slice on Broadway, let's just be a shout out to support your local pizza joint out there because that's where the good stuff happens, especially in New York, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
There you go. So thank you, Slice on Broadway. We are going to be right back after these messages, and I got a strange note here, and we're going to find out what it's about when we come back from this break in just a couple of minutes, and we'll see what's going to happen. There's just something different, I think. We'll be right back after this.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemoth, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for every breath that I...
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning, and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
Hello, Mayhem Show. Sai, Chachi. It's been a long time. Any new viewers may have heard my name, but really have no context. It's been years since I've been on the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Long before the Mayhem Mania and whatever other newfangled games you play now. You hear my voice every week and just didn't know it. It's time I made an appearance, though. It seems that each week, while I'm trying to enjoy Leave It to Beaver, Power Rangers, or whatever show I happen to be binging at the time, I seem to be distracted and irritated by the number of disparaging tweets I see on my Twitter feed from the hours of 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. The number of good tweets has dropped drastically, while the number of bad tweets has skyrocketed. Here's just a few I found from this past week. At Bobby F. J. Town says, sometimes watching Raw each week is like being trapped in your own personal Groundhog's Day. Nice to see the first 40 minutes of Raw just basically didn't matter. That one's from Mad Mike. And the only tweet I found from the Mayhem Show during Monday Night Raw this week is, who is someone you are a big fan of, but couldn't care less when they come out for WWE Raw or SmackDown? We've been discussing this weird phenomenon with WWE shows. This is from an account that used to be heavily active Mondays from those hours. Reacting, conversing, everything around Monday Night Raw. And now it's not. Now, I'm going to say something. You've been expecting me to say this. I have to say it so that we can move on. But note, I came with gifts. Alright? Stop watching Raw! Problem solved. Stop watching Raw. Now, like I said, I had to say it. I'm not even saying stop watching all WWE program. That's what I did. The company and I had a disagreement, so I canceled all of my subscriptions to their product. I no longer give them any money. I barely even say their name. But I come with ideas. Replace it with something better. You have 3 hours to kill that you no longer are filling on Monday night. AEW Dark Elevation is on YouTube during some of those hours. It's an enjoyable product that features a wave of indie talent and appearances by main event level stars every week. There's a show on Monday. There's a show on Tuesday. There's even a show on TNT on Wednesdays. I don't watch that. I don't have cable, but it's available to you. You don't like factions? Get it. Fine. Major League Wrestling has a collection of stars from all over the world, and you can also catch that on YouTube, as well as watch a huge back catalog featuring wrestlers that you used to love and haven't seen in a while. Those still not your cup of tea? You can rewatch Lucha Underground, which is available on Tubi, streaming channel. It is all on there, all free to watch. You may have to create an account. There's still no charge. Still not happy? There are countless indie collections on the internet. Sign up for them. Watch local talent do their thing in a very enjoyable show. I get mine from IndieWrestling.us. Not a shameless plug. That is where I watch my indie wrestling. Any longtime fans of the show know that that's a weird statement for me to say, considering that I used to not enjoy indie wrestling at all, and now it's basically all I watch. You're welcome, Eamon. You're welcome. Stop settling for crap. I know you like the stars, and it sucks that you don't get to see them in the capacity. Stop wasting the energy. Vote with your wallets. Watch something else. I suggest Leave It to Beaver. High quality, wholesome, classic television that still holds up. And it's free on the Roku channel. Bye, friends. We'll see you in another decade.
Chachi is back with a vengeance. So he had his message. He had something to say. He's been seeing it. And there you go. Now, of course, this is a lot of conversations we have, and actually, well, one of your tweets were directly well, okay, we didn't say it, but it was on screen.
Wasn't directly quoted.
Not directly quoted, but the tweet was on screen for everybody who's on the visual version of the show. Mike, you have the floor.
Chachi, I think you're a little hard on the beaver. Okay. See, Chachi
That's what she said? I don't
have what I like to call
oh no.
integrity.
Whoa.
Namely of the journalistic type.
What?
Because Sorg, we do a podcast every Monday.
Yes.
Where we do have to talk about Raw.
I mean, we don't have to.
We don't have to, but it's why we
sometimes
started the
barely
podcast.
do, but yeah, I mean, it was more of a therapy session, but you know,
it's why we started the podcast.
Yeah.
And
because,
honestly,
because Raw
you know
existed, but you know,
everyone has their own different stress relief. Us bitching about Raw, honestly, is quite therapeutic. Almost more than Legos, not quite as much. That being said, rewatching Lucha Underground is always a good idea.
Valid.
Always a good idea. absolutely always a good idea. Rewatching Leave It to Beaver, probably not.
I don't know if it holds up.
I'm gonna go out and say it. Like, honestly, Wally and the Beaver can go fuck themselves.
He put Power Rangers in there. I was on board. I was listening. He got my attention.
No, I mean it's fair. Like, he's very proud of his Green Ranger shrine that he's posted all over the place.
Okay.
Which, you know,
Okay.
that's fine. But I also have seen Chachi watch all of Smallville, which he regularly said he didn't like, but now he had to finish it.
That's a very good point. I mean, I was definitely a victim of hate watching Smallville for a few seasons.
And honestly, and DP said best, I think, in the chat room. So this is what happens when Chachi stops filming eating pickles.
Yeah. By the way,
starts getting real. I'm adding that.
And starts getting real.
So it's the real world Pittsburgh.
The real pickle Pittsburgh. No. And of course, we're talking about Put a Pickle On at the Smash short-lived YouTube series.
I'd argue the biggest hit of the pandemic.
Oh yeah. Josh Krasinski, or however he says his name. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, he fuck that. He was on for 3 weeks. Chachi did almost a whole year's worth of putting pickles on things.
Yeah. He was doing his own quiet thing. Anyways, Zach, I know you kind of got thrust into a situation here, obviously.
A very strange one, but I did recognize the gentleman at least. I actually, whenever before I was like anything above like, hey, this is jobber number 4.
Okay.
I used to listen to the podcast when he was on. That's how I heard about you.
Oh, were you here for the angry years?
I'm pretty sure.
We've left the angry years.
There's a review that's still on. I don't know. Maybe after today's updates, there was a review from several years ago that says, "Why are these guys doing a wrestling podcast? Chachi obviously hates wrestling as a whole." Right? So, and it's still on there. And that's also, please give us more reviews so that's not the last review on there. But anyways.
One of the things that immediately jumped to my mind was that I think he was involved in this, was listening when they talked about a promotion that I had just wrestled on, where they said that there was a bombing and that Manchild was involved. And then I immediately thought, man, I wonder how happy Bobby is knowing that Manchild was just on Prospect Pro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did message him and says, hey, I just filmed my first Manchild match. So I was like, finally it came back around. But yeah, those were the days. Okay.
Yeah, I saw the angry years. Sorry. Yes. Sidetrack Zach.
Hey, welcome to the show. That's why we invited you back. So aside from that, the content of the message, what are your thoughts?
Power Rangers, good point. Lucha Underground, also a good point. He failed to mention just watching the same couple Shibata matches over and over and over again. That's also an option. I'm big on what he's saying though about like the indie stuff. Like I know I joked around with you beforehand. I said like the only time I get to watch like the main product is like when a friend is on and I'm like, oh, like, we got to watch for so and so or whatever. And I think it's just because I think the problem is he's partially right. There's so much out there. Mm-hmm. You can just watch whatever you're enjoying, and you buy like a byproduct. Sometimes you just end up skipping stuff and you're like, wow, I haven't watched in like 3 months. And it's not anything, it might have gotten good again. I don't know, but there's enough out there you can watch what you like and you never have to worry about it.
Yeah, this isn't just like we have WWE and TNA and that's it, right? Which was most of the show, that's what our options were, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, Mike, go ahead, and then I'll get into my side.
There's also something to be said. Just because we don't like the character arcs doesn't mean we don't like watching the wrestling.
I don't think we're getting that deep into it, Mike. Are we? I mean,
he says all we do is complain about wrestling.
Yeah,
which isn't necessarily.
And by the way,
because Riddle and Woods had a phenomenal fucking match last night.
Right. He pulled the quote where I was asking that question, and it was something that we legitimately asked while we were watching the last pay-per-view here in the studio. And Sheamus came back and like, man, you know what? I like Sheamus, but I couldn't give a shit about what's happening with this match. And then, until Ricochet came out, I actually did kind of care for it.
I'm not mad, I'm disappointed phase.
Right. I like Jeff Hardy, but what the fuck was that promo last night, right? We know the people aren't the problem. We can still be a fan of the people, like that idea. And we talked about this a little bit last night on Monday Mayhem
And
Warriors.
just because I don't like a certain character arc on a TV show doesn't mean I'm going to stop watching the TV show as a whole, because
right.
there are obviously things that I do like on the show.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking
like I like the Alexa Bliss stuff they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't.
But
I
it's-
happen to enjoy it. I think it's kind of weird, kooky stuff.
Yeah.
But
Rest in
you
peace,
know,
Larry.
Yeah, that was very sad. That I'm pretty sure that's why she wasn't on Raw last night.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, poor Larry Steve. Rest in peace. Rest in pig power, Larry Steve.
Oh no, the pig died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Apparently,
she was really like bummed out about it. Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Apparently, he was having a lot of issues. They were trying. Like I read her whole thing on Instagram. It was he was in a lot of pain. They were trying to figure out how to get him to a proper vet where he could be treated properly. And at the end of the day, he just passed away. So
That's
very
unfortunate.
sad.
Did they live a long time?
She had him for a while. Because
I
I
feel
remember
like
there
they've
was
gotta live a long time.
there was an episode of Total Divas where she got him as a piglet.
Yeah.
So and that had to be
So
4 or 5 years ago at least.
So rolling back to this, you know, and he called up, like I say, he called up my kind of question I put out there, and I was trying not to do it as a slam, but as a legitimate. And actually, I had a great conversation with Journey into Wrestling podcast about this phenomenon, for things like that and the alternatives. And I think we're having a conversation that I think like Chachi would be leading into. And he's right. And to be honest, like Mike, you've been on the show. I've been said, you know, hey guys, stop watching shit you don't like. Go watch something else. There's plenty of options, and you know, much like his list there, right? I didn't get to leave it to Beaver stage, but you know.
By the way, I've been watching Rugrats this weekend. I've been
Oh, yeah?
starting that again. Great show.
Oh yeah.
Terrible parents. A great show.
That's how we were like in the 80s. That's how it got done. We just disappeared, and if we showed up, they still had kids, and if they didn't, then we ended up on a milk carton. Like,
Wow. But you know, literally, I'm doing this. Like, what did I do last night? Like, it's 7 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I want to watch Dark. Or if I have I'll have a client in studio here at 7, and whenever we finish, it's like, okay, I'm going to turn on Dark on the big iPad while I work, and then the phone has Raw and whatever's happening there, just so I have an idea what's happening. Because again, I do want to see what Riddle is doing. I do want to see what the New Day is doing. But I know because of how that show has been, I was like, I don't want to sit through the first 15 minutes of promos. Like, that's just not what I'm here for. I'd rather watch the 3 matches of people that I'm growing to know or getting introduced to on Dark Elevation, right? But again, you know, I talk about that, like, I love that growing indie wrestling, you know, hey, let's see these guys, you know, grow kind of idea. And that feeds that for me, you know, and WWE doesn't. It's like, what random, probably same thing we're going to see these characters in yet again. We talked about coasting until the live show last night on the Monday show, you know, and that's the thing. And I'm taking action. I am trying to watch, and I do watch every week, every minute, except for that I skipped the casino video game commercial. It's way too long. Of Dark Elevation, Dark, Dynamite, and BTE. Yeah, I did finish BTA last night. Joyfully, it's not like, oh, I gotta watch this. Like, even NXT, I'm like, oh, I didn't get to watch last week's NXT. I'll pass it tonight. You know, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll watch the rest of last week's NXT when Dynamite's not on this week. That's where we're at, right? It's not as important. And I love NXT. I love what they're doing with NXT, but it still doesn't strike that same chord for me.
I mean,
I watched Ring of Honor last night during Raw. And Ring of Honor, I love, but have trouble catching up with the show, you know, for reasons and timing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but go ahead.
Hashtag 100% pure Devin. That's my show.
Oh, fuck yeah. Pure matches are my, when I was like, there's a pure match, I'm like, this is a great fucking episode. I love pure matches. Just like I love that crazy shit they do on NXT UK I never remember with the rounds.
The rounds matches. The British rounds.
Oh, the British round. They call it something else, I think. It's a Heritage Cup.
Heritage.
It's
it was the Heritage Cup, but
yes,
they
but they're
call it a
British
British
rounds,
round.
and that's the same kind of thing we saw Lee Moriarty and Shirley Doe of all people do in Rise, back in 2019.
And when they occasionally break out the NXT fight pit, like that's also
Is it
something.
wild that I'm backing myself in a corner on this? Is it wild that I'm excited to see something on a WWE product, in a like fourth string WWE product that I saw first on the Indies? But then I'm just describing like half of the wrestlers that I've seen there. On
So,
there now.
do you know what I was thinking about last night while I was watching the Penguins and Raw?
You were no, I have nothing to vex
I
on that.
miss Drew Gulak's PowerPoints.
Oh yeah.
I miss it.
Oh
I miss
yeah.
it so much.
Man.
I miss it so much. Now he's getting roses shoved in orifices and
Yeah.
Is it weird? That's a weird thing with wrestling too. Like I always wonder why. Like so, and I love it for this at times. Like I was a huge Chikara guy, so like cards on the table already.
Mm-hmm.
We get dumb stuff thrown at us a lot of times, and a lot of times it doesn't work. But when it does, they take it from us, like PowerPoints, Bad News Barrett,
The Hurt Business. The Hurt Business.
I was an absolute huge fan of. Oh, now they changed his name. I forget what it was. He used to do the victory lap down at NXT. Do you know?
Oh, Bo Dallas.
Yeah, I loved Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
The whole I'm a delusional motivational guy.
Yeah.
I listen, say what you want about the guy. I cracked up.
Dude,
I was excited to see
we loved it. We loved it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, one more thing on what Chachi said. not to get too granular here. We do a podcast. Is a podcast really fun if we're just always positive about everything?
I've been trying.
Not really.
I've been trying to.
Honestly, not really.
If you hate hearing people complain about wrestling, don't listen to people complaining about wrestling. There's plenty of other podcasts.
And to be fair,
yeah, like because Chachi, if you don't like seeing our complaints, there's a mute term. Just mute #Raw.
So, okay, let me speak on that for a moment, because I mean, as a I have always endeavored for this to be a mostly positive conversation about wrestling and enjoying wrestling and celebrating wrestling.
Sorg,
And it's gonna
I'm
creep in
reminded
there,
of the beginning of the Winter Soldier. You and I have different missions. I'm Black Widow. You are running in trying to save everyone, including an undercover Hydra agent.
And there are times.
Spoilers for Winter Soldier.
And there are times when Mike and I get into it, and I fucking hate myself after a show because we had a civil war on a Monday night. So I mean, like, this happens, and it's part of the process. Okay, it's part of the process.
Sorg,
Listen.
If I don't make those complaints, General Ross is going to make those complaints, and he's not going to be nice about it.
Let me know how positive
Who's our General Ross? Do we have one yet?
Who's your general?
Oh no, probably
no. We did.
Garza.
No. We did. She quit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she quit. She tried to regulate us, and she quit.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Regulators mount up.
She's forming the Thunderbolts as we speak. Garza's on the team. He's Zemo. I'm telling you.
Oh my god, I want there to
If I found out my former producer of the show,
there to be an anti-mayhem team now.
Producer of the show, wife, is
an
forming
everyone that's no longer on the show.
Yeah, is like forming an anti-mayhem show podcast. That'd be the best.
Sorg has them locked in the raft. Yeah, they're not coming. They're not going anywhere.
It's gonna be called the Wrestling Discourse Show.
The Wrestling Discourse
where it's
show.
very structured debates.
I'll never be a guest.
God, we should do that for April Fool's Day one year.
Oh, we'll have a structured debate of something. Who do we bring in?
A structured debate with moderators.
My God, who do we bring in for like the it could be
gavel David Lawless?
Oh my God.
That's just off the top of my head.
So are we all going to be our Earth 2 doppelgangers then?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's more the format, I think, would be the question. So let's see. At Gavel, what are you doing April 1st? What are you doing April 1st? We're just going to do that
Welcome to the
from the
Wrestling
Mayhem Show and see what happens.
Oh my God, the Wrestling Discourse show. would
Now
be
here's the real clincher. Do you warn him ahead of time, or do we just drop him into nonsense like we always?
No, because the whole point
well,
is
no. See, that podcast would be very anti-nonsense.
Listen.
That would be
we would have
all
a
sense.
mediator, and he's somebody who, if I understand the profession correctly, would be a professional mediator, right?
Yes.
And he'll correct
Like
me.
we each get 3 minutes.
Right, and you know,
2-minute
and
rebuttals.
I'm going to say this, and he's going to either correct me or I'll get a cease and desist in a week. Okay, so I mean, we'll just fly by the seat of our pants here as we do. So there's that. So let's talk about homework.
The Wrestling Discourse show. Oh my God, I want to do that.
The WDS.
Oh my.
Yeah, let's talk about homework.
We had homework. And it turns out this is perfect timing because I sent the link to Zach here today, and he says, "Well, I've watched this 9,000 times." It is Shibata and Kyle O'Reilly 2016 Field of Honor in Baltimore. And first off, before we get into that,
Baltimore.
was it no? It was in Brooklyn.
Sword.
I swore it said
Hey,
Brooklyn.
You said Baltimore.
Brooklyn.
It's at MCU Park where the Brooklyn site is.
But I meant to say Brooklyn. But
Yeah, it's in Coney Island.
It's on. That's Coney Island behind them.
That's literally.
I'm
Coney
just like,
Island.
there's a fucking amusement park behind this ballpark, and it's great. I love
Yeah.
this so
Yeah,
much.
that's Coney Island.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. So
I actually probably almost went to this show back in the day.
likely.
I really wish I had a chance to. I wish I would have.
Yeah. Bobby Fish was on commentary with Kevin Kelly and was it Steve Corino? I think
It was Carino.
Okay. So it wasn't a super kick party. So Mike is probably not nearly annoyed as a commentary.
No,
as
I
he
was absolutely
before.
fine with it.
So no, it was great. I thought it was great. I thought because I think Fish had a match with Shibata. Like, oh god, oh no, sorry about that.
I'm looking to see what else was on this show.
Yes, that's
Ooh,
always fun.
this was
So hold up a
wow,
second.
This is
Let's
a wild show.
Let's hold up a second. And also, Tiger. I'm sorry, Tiger. What I forget his second name. Was the referee from IWGP. So that was wild too. Zach, what you know? Again, you are very intimately familiar with this match. Why are you so familiar with this match?
So I guarantee you. So when you said that I was on and that the research was a Shibata match, the collective groan of 30 indie wrestlers that want me to shut up already probably echoed through the internet.
Okay, all right.
Like you guys have made fun of me for the Asuka thing, but like I don't like. I just like wrestling, so it's not so like it's few and far between that I'm like, oh, I love this guy, or you know this guy like I turn into a mark for people, but there's a few. Asuka's one of them. Shibata's my guy. Like, hands down, probably the biggest influence to like what I'd like to, you know, build my style around. Really kind of set the tone for what I like, the pacing that I like and stuff. And by no means am I anywhere near as good as him, but I will watch his matches like over and over and over and over. And I'm just like, I can't believe that this guy like existed. Like he feels like a superhero, not a wrestler. I don't know.
No, absolutely. Mike, you know, I you know, you're obviously not quite as familiar with the New Japan.
This was my first Shibata match, I think, unless I've seen him on Wrestle Kingdom and forgot.
Very possible.
You didn't forget, sir. You didn't.
No, it's possible because those shows are very late at night. And
Yeah, we are watching at like 4 a.m. So
because when I watched Wrestle Kingdom, I was also working retail jobs, so I was probably very tired.
yeah,
But,
that makes sense.
O'Reilly's amazing too, though. Like so, like they've worked multiple times, and each time was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was a fun match. It was a very fun. Lots of stiff shots. Lots of just really stiff shots. Just lots of kicking, which is fine. You know, it was great. I actually really, I know Sorg doesn't want to hear this. I really enjoyed Bobby Fish on commentary.
Listen,
I like Bobby.
I'm getting over my Bobby Fish issues. Okay, I am going back to enjoying Bobby Fish. It's water under the bridge. It was nearly 10 years ago.
You know what else is under
It's-
that bridge?
Huh?
Fish?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Were they fishes? You had fishes?
But there was a bit of a fissure between.
This hurts so much. This hurts so much. Okay. All right.
Sorg, it's okay. All you have to do is, drop us a line. It'll be fine.
Listen,
We'll
man.
lure you back in.
These jokes are like shooting fish in a barrel.
Oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Fuck you guys. Fuck this.
Hey, Sorg. Don't get carpy, okay?
Tell me more about Shibata.
The greatest of all time? Sure, let's go. No, I'll tell you what. It's always fun to watch guys adjust to his style, and even though like Kyle is also like kind of he's hard hitting, he's smash mouth. Jake Edwin said that he moves ugly, he acts ugly, and he wrestles ugly, and like that's his whole thing. And like it's like watching a car wreck sometimes, but like he's so good at it, and you could tell like in that match. And again, this could just be the skill involved, or it could have been like legitimate moments being built, but you could tell like as he's turning up his intensity, like watch the strikes sometimes where the first couple, there's clear thuds, it's strong style, they're laying it in, and you see more and more sweat shooting further and further, and you can tell that he's going, oh, this guy's going to keep hitting me harder and harder. Well, I'm going to do the same thing. And there's like this weird honor involved in that. You guys brought up me and Bronco earlier. Like it's the same. There's just certain guys that when they get in there together, it starts becoming a measuring contest to see who's going to hit the other guy harder and who's going to back down first. And man, that's what I like live and die for when I get in the ring. If you ask what I like about wrestling, that's it.
Now I have a question, and you may know this, may not. Has Shibata ever had a match with Masato Tanaka? Because that's what I envisioned when I was watching this match. I'm like, he kind of fights like I remember Tanaka matches from ECW.
So if he did, it would have been like before he was this Shibata. He would have had to have been really young, and I don't. If it happened, I don't think I've seen it. But now I'm interested.
I'm now trying to look up and see.
That would be great.
He had a weird evolution. There's a mini documentary online about him that it's basically showing like his background, where he started, like when he started to pick up his momentum, and like the progress from what companies he jumped to, because at one time it was like a big deal that like he wasn't going to be able to work in New Japan just because of like
is that the California Dreamin' documentary?
It might be.
Okay, because I'm finding that it's like a 20-minute documentary from the looks of things on YouTube.
Okay, I didn't find that, but I found Kevin Steen versus Tanaka.
That's probably pretty dope too. So have you not watched very many Shibata matches at all then?
This was my first one. Like I said, unless he's wrestled on a Wrestle Kingdom that I just forgot about them.
If you get a chance, watch him and Okada from I think it's Genesis. It's my favorite match of all time, and it's if you were gonna like try to when we mentioned strong style, like if somebody asks what it is, if you show them that match, it is the perfect execution of what that means.
Where
it's
was
crazy.
that show? What show was that?
What's that?
What show was that?
I think it's Genesis. I could find it real easy.
Like New Japan Genesis, like Okada.
Sakura
Genesis, right?
It's Okada versus Shibata.
Well, hey, let's do. Let's call an audible here. If we can find that on YouTube out there for free?
I'm also looking at like this Kevin Owens versus Tanaka match, and then Tanaka versus Samoa Joe.
Jeez.
Those just sound wild.
Every time somebody talks about Tanaka, I think of Hooven now because of like all the jokes about him and Jamie being Tanaka and Mike Awesome, their illegitimate children.
Yeah.
But
Jamie might be Mike Awesome's child. I'm just saying.
Well,
Jamie Jameson.
He was the fat chick Thriller.
I was gonna say, given WCW, I have some questions about his parentage that would clear things up. I'd say pretty easily. But Sorg, Did you see what else was on this show, this Field of Honor show?
No, I did not. But
Oh, well, all right. So when we do these as homework assignments, I like to look for the shows and recap the rest of it, or just look at it.
Okay.
Because the show looks wild. The first match was Kushida and Dalton Castle. Then it was Bobby Fish and Evil for the ROH TV title.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was Michael Elgin and Dijak for the IWGP Intercontinental title. Then there's a tag team gauntlet. All right, are you ready for this? I want to watch this match.
Oh man, this is where it goes off the rails, boys. I guarantee it.
Oh no, this shit's good. The Addiction, Daniels and Kazarian, the Briscoes, War Machine, Rhett Titus and Kenny King, Gato and Yano, Cheeseburger and Will Ferrara, and the team of Shane Taylor and Keith Lee.
Oof.
Holy man.
Oof.
That's an expensive gauntlet, guys.
Yeah.
That's a wild gauntlet match. Like, I just kind of want to see that. That just
That whole
sounds like
show,
a lot of
honestly,
fun.
that whole show sounds really good.
Oh, there's still 2 more matches I haven't talked about.
Well, let's go.
Old Club, the Bucks, Hangman, and Takahashi against Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, ACH, and Leo Rush. And the main event for the ROH title was Adam Cole, Jay Lethal, Tanahashi, and Naito.
That sounds dope.
It just sounds fucking wild.
Honestly, I've never been to one of the ROH New Japan shows that, like, the co-promoted ones that weren't good. They've all been great.
My God, that probably still my favorite Ring of Honor experience was the crossover show where like Suzuki was there and
oh yeah, we were there with you. Me and Bronco were up in the balcony. Remember?
Yeah, and like and it was like full Bullet Club, you know, like Omega, Bucks, and Cody probably was there, I think. So yeah, no, that was just like the most on fire like Ring of Honor I had been to, probably aside from Mike that was at a Final Battle we attended in at the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yeah.
So that was the best time there. And it's amazing that we get those tours that would have those guys that would, you know, I watched this guy on Wrestle Kingdom kind of situations, right? So, but then again, those guys. Go ahead.
Somebody told me a story about Suzuki that day, because like I don't know if I'm getting it right. It was his first time in Pittsburgh, and I mean, nobody tells Suzuki what to do, period. Like,
right.
he does his thing. Well, he doesn't speak a ton of English, and he I guess was wandering around near the venue and was just like, I'm going to see what's around here, and like went up to where the college dorms are, like, and they were having like a big cookout, and they said he just walked in and started having hamburgers, and like I guess a couple of them recognized him then, and they were like, oh my God. And like, again, this could all be people spinning a yarn, but the way the story was told was he like took over and started like flipping burgers and was just having a good time, and then came back and wrestled. Which I wouldn't be shocked if it was true, but his reception to that show was one of the craziest crowd reactions I've ever experienced in person.
Jeez. Yeah, it was just like you were just seeing a legend in front of you. You know, it was just wild because, I mean, we'd watch how much WWE where literally legends would come out, or those indie shows or superstars or legend shows or anything like that, right? So, hey, I'm trying to look up this match still. So, are we looking at Sakura Genesis 2017? Does that sound right?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
This
That's
is
the one.
we're not going to do this as an official homework, Mike, because I'm not finding it outside of New Japan World. I'm actually having trouble finding on New Japan World, so I'm trying to get that going. But there's like parts of it, and there's highlights maybe.
I'll tell you what, honestly, even if you can't, I'll try to find you the full thing. But if you can't, wet your noodle with the highlights. It'll be 3 minutes that you'll be like, wow, this
all
is
right.
this is nuts.
We'll do that, and I'll drop this in the chat right now. But I have this California Dream one, which I think is the one that you were talking about. And so that's in the chat room and over on the Facebook page. And I
also found Timothy Thatcher versus Minoru Suzuki.
Oh my god. Oh jeez.
It's just broken fingers and bruises. That's the.
I'm even looking for the highlights as well. So, but we'll get at that. That's definitely one we got to check out. So, here's one. I think this is it. But it's just a video entitled "It's a Strong Style Life," and it's like 50 seconds.
Watch that.
Oh, this is it. This is it. I want to drop this in the chat room for you. Yeah, it's basically all the hits. Oh my god. Then this is why we got into New Japan, because like they'd have the never open weights with like Ishii and shit, and I'm just like, this is fucking crazy, you know. But also remember, they basically do 6-man tags for the rest of the year, so you can do that when you're not doing 5 nights a week, you know, of house shows on TV. Like
watching this stuff should give you a little bit of insight when you guys ask me like, why did you guys do that? Like, why are you guys hitting each other?
Yeah. Well, even to that, you guys were like really vicious with things on that match at the training center thing, right? In June, and it's like, yeah, because you guys haven't wrestled for like 3 months at that point, don't know when you're going to wrestle again, so you're going to go all out in front of the cameras and do something crazy, right? Some people.
I'll be honest.
Some people.
Honest too,
some
like
people got crazier than others that day.
Oh, what do you mean? Listen. No, it was movie magic.
I'm just saying,
Sorg.
some people tried to take their shot. But anyways, you were saying.
Oh no, I just like it's again like I think when you watch that match you'll get to see it too. Like
yeah.
I think Shibata and Okada just have that type of vibe, and not that he can't have that match with everybody, but there's certain guys you get in there with it's just what they bring out of you. I've wrestled Bronco probably 20 times since you know meeting him, and every single time is like that. We have chemistry, and every time he the first punch of the match you're like, oh okay, I felt that one, you're gonna get one back, and it just continues on. But yeah. You feel good afterward. You feel like you did something every time. So I don't know.
Okay. Now I'm confused because now I'm finding Security Genesis from the 8th and the 9th of 2017. Both of them have Okada and Shibata on the covers, so I'm trying to figure that part out. Anyways, navigating the interesting bilingual world of New Japan World is always a fun time. Live on a podcast. Homework. Did I lay in, because I was trying to do homework, and
you did not tell us what the new
I did
homework
not.
was.
Well, I was half suggesting one, and I want to tell you, I've been looking for an ELP match, but like the stuff I can find is like really shitty shot indie matches. But I did find one, and I really want to. I want to dip the toe into El Fantasmo here for Mike. So I am going to pull up this one moment because there's some stuff from I think it's Lion Break. Lion Break project from last year, which I think is the early iteration of what would become New Japan Strong. And here's a match that I don't think is going to disappoint. I'm going blind with this, but again, I just want to get that introduction in there. Clark Connors versus El Fantasmo, Lions Break Project 2. It was a free match, posted at least. It's from December 8th, 2019. So this might be a proto El Fantasmo at this point. By the way, so indie matches that I almost picked until I saw the footage and the quality, because I don't want to give you guys shitty indie looking footage. I saw Phantasmo versus Brian Cage.
I see one that's El Phantasmo versus Ray Phoenix.
Ray Phoenix. That was the first one I was going to pick, but I started looking at the footage and I was like, we're not gonna do that to you.
It's a Phoenix match, Sorg. How bad could it be?
Yeah, man. If the camera doesn't exactly capture the match in a viewable manner.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm talking about.
I'm seeing what you're talking about.
They look like they're made of Legos.
Not that they're made of Legos. It's just like, why is
it looks like the cameraman is the third part of a triple threat match.
Right. There you go. Fuck, I didn't talk about that. Okay, we're going to get to that in a minute. I got something from this weekend that I didn't bring up last night. So I'm going to put that in the chat room. That is from Lions something. Shit. Lions, Clark Connors versus El Phantasma. Clark Connors is a guy I've seen on Strong a bit that's been really impressive. Lions break Project 2. Free match over on the New Japan YouTube page. So, it's time to find out what you learned from wrestling this week. Please hit us up in the chat room. I swear I'll actually take a peek at the chat room there. Let us know what you learned from wrestling this week. John Roden and Zach Rain should go after the tag titles in Prospect Pro Wrestling, says Chris in the chat room. That's not what we learned, but I just noticed it.
I'm down. You know, we've made an okay team. I enjoyed tagging with Roden. Let's make it happen.
There you go. You should. Also, Chris says that you deserve a title shot this year.
Thanks, bro.
There you go. There you go. Well, you don't know. Mandime's giving shots away apparently at this point after two shows not defending. So we'll see what happens there. Well, hopefully,
I think only 3 guys have pinfall victories against him. I mean, I'm not one of them though. I won the stretcher thing against him, didn't I?
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
I almost got that stretcher shot in one of your intro videos, and I'm like, it's a little wild. So, yeah. What did you learn, Mad Mike?
Oh boy, what did I learn from wrestling this week? I learned that watching your hockey team lose does not improve quality of wrestling. Doesn't help matters at all. I also learned that the former Taya, now Frankie Monet, is now using the Glam Slam as a finish, which is awesome.
Ooh, nice. Zach Rain, what'd you learn from wrestling this week or recently?
I learned that pigs live 17 to 20 years. Google taught me that during the course of this podcast. Rest in peace, Larry. I learned that former members of this show have created a secret council to destroy the Wrestling Mayhem show.
Oh my God, it's the Dungeon of Doom.
Oh my God, what would our Dungeon of Doom be? It'll be. It turns out
it's everyone who's not on the show anymore.
It was led by Steam Machine the whole time.
Oh my God. The Steam Master.
The Steam Master. Oh my God. Deep cuts to the first 5 weeks of this podcast. In the beginning of 2006, which I don't even know if they're using.
LB is now known as Shark for some reason.
Oh, he would be the mastermind. Oh, jeez. Like, no, LB would be Kevin Sullivan.
Oh no, you know who would be? Sawtooth Willie.
There you go. Deep
Sawtooth
cuts.
Willie's
Deep
the
cuts.
mastermind.
Damn it. What did I learn? Listen,
You just completely derailed.
Listen. I've been performing the duties of a videographer for professional wrestling for a long time. And obviously, while as many of us as fans have aspirations about professional wrestling and being involved in wrestling, I knew that's not the path that I was. I tried, but that's not the path I was going to take on. And I also, in that, told me in respect to professional wrestling, I would told myself that I would never, ever get involved in professional wrestling. As in, I'm there to hold a camera. I'm not doing anything else, right? Okay, we did have Jock Sampson kick Chachi in the balls one time, but other than that kind of stuff,
honestly, probably
I would never put myself in a position like that. But I'll get Chachi kicked in the balls. And considering tonight's video, I think that's apropos to bring up. But this weekend, I think I had it all wrong. Because I'm sitting there, it's the main event, it's Mr. Spectacular and Tony Gunn. Tony Gunn's somebody I've seen in RWA and a big fan of him, taking on, I can't remember the name of the other team at this point. It's from the OVW Defiant show. It's live.
The Tates.
The Tates, thank you. I think they're twins. So
yeah, I remember reading that.
They're wearing new Foundation colors, like the Rocket Owen Hart. A little bit, the checkers, So that's all I could think of was that New Foundation. Was that the team? Him and Neidhart, right? So
well, it wasn't the Rock and Owen Hart. It was Neidhart.
No, I said Yeah, Neidhart. No, what did I say? I said
said-
the Rocket. The Rocket Owen Hart.
Oh, the Rocket Owen Hart.
I thought you said The Rock.
And
And
Owen
Owen
Hart.
Hart.
I'm like, no, that was the New Nation.
yeah, no, okay.
That was the New Nation.
But I'm watching this match, and there was, I believe, one of the Tates, did a baseball slide out. And I believe Tony Gunn pulled the cameraman, who was holding like a shoulder camera, right? Like not as big and high tech, but like relatively what you see at a WWE show he's holding, right? He takes the baseball slide and goes out. And they're tending to him and everything. And I didn't see if he was replaced or is the same guy that came out, and there's a video guy again. The video guy was involved in the finish of the match. Got up on the apron with the camera, distracted I can't remember if it was probably Tony Gunn. Actually, no, I think it was the other guy, Jesse Goddard. And I think almost got killed by them afterwards when they lost the tag titles to the Tates. So it's just like it was just really kind of blown away by the entire premise of the match was around the video guy. And it's not like they had an extra one. Like, listen, when we had something where at Resolution, Johnny Gargano, I believe, took a camera from a cameraman at ringside, which was one of my old 8mm cameras, and we had an obviously awkward with different cameraman out there simply to get hijacked his camera for this thing, right? So there was like a lot of players like, no, this was like this. The camera was live on pay-per-view, and this isn't WWE where they're gonna trash a camera, right? So I don't know. That's what I learned. Apparently, cameramen can be involved in wrestling too.
No one is safe.
No one. Well, I know no one is safe. I was in a cage with a table on fire one time. So yeah, I know no one is safe. Listen, I have said all this on the show. You don't know how many times I have filmed the Marshall Gambino match, and had that like Ralph Wiggum, I'm in danger moment. Okay, I got the right character, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go banana.
Go banana. So there's
you guys had an entire crowdless taping where your life quite possibly could have been in danger.
Yes. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I witnessed it even before that. I think I witnessed an attempted chair murder on David Lawless. That was a look of intent, sir. Anyways.
Oh, man.
With that, Prospect Pro Wrestling, go check it out. Let me check the chat room real quick. What's your favorite? Zach Rain, now you're getting the commercials, the questions at the end of the show. Rain,
boy.
What's your favorite championship or wrestler you have wrestled?
Oh, man. Favorite championship that I held was probably the Legacy Tag Team titles. That was a really cool, that was just a cool vibe. It was very Ring of Honor, high work rate. The crowd was rabid. So that just good memories from that. Ryan Colby, that was my partner out there too. And the guy that I wrestled, honestly, man, it has to be Bronco. I said, I don't think I'd have the style I have today.
John Roden called both of those answers in the chat room.
Did he for real?
Yes, he did.
Oh my God, I am everybody knows me. I told you.
He said probably Bronco and the Legacy Championship. So, yeah. Well, we've been having a lot of fun talking with the predictable White Rabbit, Zach Rain. Thank you. Where can people check you out online? And obviously, you're going to be at Prospect Pro Wrestling.
Yep. Zach Rain on Facebook, Cinder13 on eBay. You should buy merch from me.
There you go.
Or some of these collectibles that I'm going to get a divorce if I don't sell.
He's got a geeky plastic problem.
Don't we all?
Yes. We explore Mike's geeky plastic problem every Monday, mostly on Monday Mayhem Warriors as well. Mad Mike 4883 on the Twitter and hashtag MM when you see sassy thoughts about AEW Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I tweet about other stuff too.
You do,
but,
do, yes. So, but
feel free to tell me I'm wrong, and I'll tell you why.
And Twitter does. And Twitter does. So,
I'll get into it.
Yes, he will. Yes.
I'm not afraid. Not afraid.
No, he isn't. I'm at Sorgatron on the Twitter, where you'll see my exploration of America this summer. And whatever else is going on. And dog photos. Just like hanging out with my dog. So it's okay. I do have a wife too, but the pictures of the dog. So thank you, everybody. Check out everything. We'll be back next week again. The Beast Man will be in the studio, I do believe. So looking forward to that and the mayhem that may ensue. Ronnie Stark says he will not be here because he does not want to get chopped live on the show again.
Sorg. Ronnie doesn't listen this far into the show.
No, so we can say whatever we want.
I think you should tell him Beastman canceled.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll work on this. Is this like the time we told Sterling James Keenan that Butterbane was afraid of him?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll work on
I
that.
think we should trick Ronnie.
Speaking of New Jack story, once we go off the air, that reminded me.
We go do. Okay, we're doing it off air. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out. Stay tuned for Silk Stockings. Wait, this is Ronnie.
Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Wait for the perfect time then attack. Don't give up what you want. Take it back. Wait for the perfect time then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.